Hello. Welcome to tea time. Atlas is here with me today. He's eating a little alfalfa, and mostly I did that so that he would be in this place where I have good internet and it's comfortable. I've got a tree to lean on, and I like it when he joins us for tea time. So today, I don't know how many of you are going to join me because it's Wednesday. Usually we do tea time on Tuesdays, and I didn't have internet this Tuesday. It unexpectedly disappeared. So here we are on Wednesday. Margaret's here. Yay, Margaret. Welcome to tea time. But I know that for anybody who doesn't come to tea time today, you guys might watch it later. So today, I wanted to talk a little bit about the ebb and flow of feelings. Most horse training is about teaching horses to do the things you want them to do. Oh, shoot. Okay, I think I got lost here. Let's see if I'm still connected. I think I'm still connected because I see you popping up. My internet failed there for a moment, but I think it came back. So we'll see how this goes. So as I was saying, I think that freedom-based training is a little different from other training because the focus is on the feeling in the horse, and the action of what they do is secondary. Now, I still want them to do as many different things with me as possible because that makes... Oh, I failed again for the internet, but I think I'm back. Okay, still looks like it's ticking through. This may be an adventure. So as I was saying, freedom-based training is about the feelings that go with the actions, not just the actions. And feelings are going to ebb and flow. They are going to get better and they're going to get worse. And that is the natural state of things. There's no way in this life that we can have feelings only be good. We don't live in a life that is that strictly one way or the other. It's not that black and white. It drifts on a spectrum, sometimes a little better, sometimes a little worse. And the idea with freedom-based training is we study that. We study the ebb and flow of feelings. And then we link memories and actions with good feelings. So I don't know if you guys heard, Atlas just gave a great big snort behind me. And one of the reasons I put some special hay down and I talk to you guys and I do tea time with him eating is I want him to link this experience of me talking and moving around and doing all these things with good feelings. And so as he's eating this special hay, he does have a little bit of a snort. He feels good. I don't do a lot of food training. I try and access the natural ebb and flow of feelings without adding special food. But as you guys know, Atlas is a bit of a special case. And so with Atlas, I've definitely ended up using a little bit more food reinforcement and a little bit more, hi buddy, dominance in places so that we can access those better feelings as often as possible because he's had a lot of bad feelings in his life. He has a lot of natural links in his brain to things with humans feeling bad. And we're trying to change that. We want things with humans to feel good. And it's getting better and better. Now, my goal is still to experiment how much I can do that without adding food. But, you know, if there are times and places he has to eat, he is a horse. And if I just happen to be here chatting with you guys and drinking my tea, I get linked to some of those good feelings. Hi, Atlas. So if we acknowledge that stress goes up and stress goes down, the point that I wanted to make is that stress going up is not always a worse feeling. Sometimes it's a good feeling. Sometimes it's linked with learning. Sometimes it's linked with excitement. Sometimes it's linked with something being a little bit of a puzzle to figure out. And when they figure it out, they feel really good. So stress going up is not always a bad feeling. And it's something I think that we forget in the society because we always talk about stress being a problem. Likewise, stress going down is often an improvement because they're flight animals, but it's not always a better feeling than what they felt before. So, one of the points I made in an earlier tea time is that when their stress goes down to the point where they're not thinking as actively, often they become a lot easier to direct or control. And that is something a lot of trainers use. It's something I want to be aware of, but it's not something I use as much because I really want them actively thinking and actively engaging and wanting to play with me. Hi, Alice. So, what I want to talk about is the fact that stress going up and stress going down is different from this ebb and flow of feelings. So as feelings get better, you want to end an activity there because the end of an activity is what they remember best. They remember the end of an activity better than they remember the beginning or the middle. And so if you end an activity when they're feeling best, that is how they will remember that activity. And that's how freedom-based training works. It's a lot of scan and capture for those of you guys who are familiar with positive reinforcement terms. Instead of causing a behavior, we notice when a behavior happens naturally. And then when a behavior happens naturally, we try and capture it by linking it to something the horse appreciates. And in freedom-based training, what we really tend to use mostly is our body position. If the horse really likes you in front of them or on the left side, we try and reinforce by being in flow and in harmony in that place that they appreciate. So, it's really simple, but we don't talk about it a lot because so much training is based on what you can cause a horse to do. And the shift that I'm just trying to present as an option is instead of always thinking about what we can cause a horse to do, Alice, what if we think about what we can cause them to feel? If they can choose their actions a little bit more, and then we cause a feeling that gets linked to that action, then they're more likely to repeat it. And once they have a good feeling about an action, then when we ask for it or we go to cause it, the answer is a really easy yes, because the horse goes, oh yes, I love doing that. And so, that's just something to think about as we're spending time with our horses. If I'm going to cause them to do something, like go for a walk or stop or back up, or any of those things I might cause, then, what's the feeling attached to it? The better the feeling is that's attached to it, the more likely they are to repeat it in the future. If I can't cause an action yet, what is like it or similar to it that I might link to a good feeling? And, this freedom-based training is the art of being able to predict this ebb and flow of feelings. If I can predict the horse is about to feel worse, then I am not going to end a particular activity as they're feeling worse. I'm going to use my powers of prediction to end the activity while they feel their best. And, I think that most of what I practice is learning to read that. Causing them to do an action, causing them to do what I tell them to, or even causing them to feel a certain way is secondary to being able to predict what's going to happen naturally. And so, if I can predict how my horse is going to feel, and then I can be in the right place at the right time to either reinforce it or just let it go And what I mean by that is, if you're moving around the horse, if you're not in harmony with the horse, if you are different from the horse, you are, generally speaking, not reinforcing their behavior. Unless the other thing you're doing is putting a lot of pressure on them. So in freedom-based training, we can't put a lot of pressure on them. We don't have a lot of tools. So that means that we're working between the spectrum of being in harmony with them or being not in harmony with them. And anything we're in harmony with gets reinforced. Anything we're not in harmony with gets mildly discouraged. But it takes billions of repetitions before they are discouraged, because it's so gentle and so subtle. You know, sometimes I get challenged, there's no possible way to train a horse without dominance. If you consider food dominance, which, I think it fits in there. And, I understand that point of view, but the fact is, nobody really considers how slowly you could take this. In training a horse, how many billions of repetitions are you willing to normalize before the horse is more trained in one direction than another? And for me, that's a lot, as you guys know. Atlas and I here are going on, we are in our 3rd year together, and we still don't do very much together. But dang, I love this horse. I am learning so much from him. And, that's more important to me than what I can cause him to do. Yes, my goal is still that he learns how to do many, many different things. But I'd rather not force him into it. I would rather, scan, capture, notice what's going to happen, be in the right place at the right time, and share experiences with him until he gets better and better at doing things with humans. And I realize that's kind of a luxury. I have a luxury to train like that. But everybody gets to decide, to one degree or another, how much pressure they want to put on a horse to develop, and how much they want to just become really, really aware, predicting what's likely, being in the right place at the right time. Yeah, and then, reinforcing what you like. Just keep reinforcing what you like until, every time that good feeling comes up, the horse goes, I'd like to do something with you. What would you like to do? It's going to be fun. So I'll leave you guys with those thoughts, just a couple of tea time thoughts. If you guys have a subject you'd like me to talk about, tea time will be on Tuesday next week. And I try and link it to something that's going on for me so I can tell a story. Today there was no real story, but, so I have a list of suggestions from you guys that I pick from each week. And I would say keep them coming. I really enjoy that. So for today, Atlas and I are going to hang out. We're going to practice predicting that ebb and flow of feeling. When is it feeling better? When is it feeling worse? And we are going to see where that takes us in our training. Have a wonderful day, you guys, and I will talk to you next week.